not forsaken. Our deliverer will deliver. No plague can harm me. Famine can't starve me. Pharaoh may taunt me. Our deliverer will deliver. We will rise. There is trouble on every side. We are not forsaken. Our deliverer. No plague can harm me.
Good evening, good evening. It is your girl, Dr. Nefertiti. How you guys doing today? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's going to be a short week. We know we got 4th of July. So I hope everyone is staying cool, staying hydrated. You got to have a whole new frame of mind in this type of heat to stay cool. So that's why I'm trying to go to my cool place right now. Why it's almost 100 degrees out here in these streets. But again, it's your girl. It's Dr. Nefertiti here live on Kingdom Connections Radio. Kingdom Connections Radio as She Serves Radio Talk Show. Today is a special episode. And I know you saw the title. Today it's Poppin'. And it's popping because I have an amazing entrepreneur. Like real talk, she not just operates in her craft as a chef, but she helps birth businesses and she teaches and she demonstrates and she's out here in these entrepreneur streets really doing her thing. And I asked her, I said, I'm gonna need you to come on my radio show. And she was like, okay. And I was like, those are the type of people you need in your corner, because when you're working to build and do something different. And this is my platform, to highlight women in business, women in entrepreneurship, or women in ministry, or women that are out here doing something boots to the ground in the community. Well, today it's women in entrepreneurship. So I'm going to introduce none other than Nicole Green, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and her business name and tell us a little bit about who and what she do. So this is Nicole Green.
Thank you, Nefertiti. Thank you for having me.
She said my whole government name.
Of course. That's what I call you.
Yeah, you do.
So, yes, I am Nicole Green, owner of Poppin Plates. Poppin Plates Culinary Incubator. We have a location in Park Forest, and now we have a location in Linwood that just opened up a few weeks ago.
Yeah, she just had her grand opening. It looked 100% amazing. A lot of people showed up and supported. And a lot of people don't know, what is an incubator? When you say Poppin Plates Incubator, what is that?
So Poppin Plates Incubator is a place where food service entrepreneurs can come and actually have a space to cook their food legally, right?
Say that word
legally.
Again. One more time for the people in the back. There we go. Legally.
So that's the thing. We cook, and I say we because it's mostly us.
Our community.
We cook in our homes and things like that, and it's not legal.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I try to express to my clients and people that are interested in coming into the shared kitchen space, if you don't do it legally, you can't really make the money that you really deserve to make.
Right.
If you have good food, there's no reason that you should not be in a legal space so you can take your business to the next level.
And it's important. That's why every time we talk and every guest that I have on, we always start with the foundation of you need to have a business and have your business entity. Even if you're going to be just a sole entrepreneur, a sole proprietor, that's what we're. If you're going to be that, it's fine. But you still should set your business up for success by having a legal business with all your certifications. So what makes I'll say a caterer or a chef legal to cook and sell food?
Okay, so first you have to have a food service manager certification. I was gonna say ServSafe, but that's just one of many companies out there that offers the certification. You have to have that. That lets people know that you went through an 8-hour rigorous course to make sure that you're not gonna make anybody sick.
Right.
That's number one.
Yes.
All right. Then you have to go through state, your business license and your insurance, because you got to be able to protect yourself if somebody gets sick off of your product.
They don't understand that, protecting themselves, because you cooking in your kitchen at home, and you then people then paid for food, and they get sick. Guess what they coming after? You. And if you don't have insurance and license and I say you don't always have to have a legal team, but you have to at least have someone, a legal, that if you don't have them on retainer, know that hey, I'm gonna call you when I need you type. But you need to have stuff like that in place, because when they sue you, now you can lose your house, you can lose everything. You're gonna be broke because they're gonna go for everything. So protecting themselves is mainly one of the main components of being a legalized culinary kitchen, correct?
Correct. Making sure that I always tell people I work too hard for mine. And nobody can come and get what I got. So I'm going to make sure that I do it legal. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else, because guess what? I started in my house. Mm-hmm. But when I knew better, I did better.
There we go. That's it. And it's nothing. And just like she just said, there's nothing wrong with starting out, because when you don't know, but there's too much information out here now. Like I can see 20 and 30 years ago, people, that was the thing, it was no big deal, but there's too much information out here. There's too many opportunities for you to learn and grow your business and do it right. Like all day long, if I wanted to be a chef, and you can't see me, Radio Land, but I'm shaking my head, no. But if I wanted to be a chef, I want to get every bit of money. I want to set all the tables. I want to be able to set all the tables. So if you are set up properly in your incubator space, what opportunities do chefs or caterers get?
I'm going to tell you about some of the opportunities that some of my clients have, right? Okay. Because I've been doing this for the last 7 years. So over the last 7 years, I've been able to put through 65 plus food service entrepreneurs through our Park Forest location. Right now, we're heading up about 10 in our Linwood location, right? They're in Mariano's, they're in Jules, they're in Sunrise. They're in all the major spots, right? Yeah. Some of them have co-packers. Some of them are not even actually making the products themselves anymore. Wow. But we have probably about 6 or 7 different brick and mortars that started right out of Poppin plates in Park Forest. Wow. We went from a 900 square foot space that some people might know it. So Dining on the Green, we took over their kitchen almost 7 years ago. Wow. 900 square feet to 4,000 square feet.
Look at God.
Yes, look at God.
Because that process, right? We're going to get into that process, right? Because I always used to tell, so I know Nicole. So anyone that I bring to this platform, some way, somehow, I have a relationship with them, because I'm not just going to bring any and everybody before you all. One, because I want to make sure that it is accurate information that's coming to you. And once again, you're going to get some blessed information, because we're faithpreneurs doing our thing. But we're going to get into a story, because, when you go through things, sometimes you're like, man, God, why am I going through this? It ain't for you all the time. Sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, it's for someone else that's behind you looking at you like, man, how did she get that place? Because I had a couple of events at her space in Park Forest, and it was very nice. The food popping, because that's what Poppin plates do. And she and I can't get her to cook me nothing to save you. But she got a lot going on. I'm gonna let her ease up on that. But you were at a 900 square foot place, and you took over another that was like a takeover, pretty much, right? Yeah. You had the shared kitchen, and you were doing it as an event space.
Right. So we had the 900 square feet space. Let's see. In the middle of COVID, I decided to expand.
Mm-hmm.
So my catering business never suffered during COVID. We actually did the best numbers that we ever did. So we went from 3 employees to about 30 employees in about 30 days.
Wow.
So it was crazy. We went from doing, your average birthday party and weddings, small weddings and things like that, to knocking out 3,000 meals per day.
My Lord.
So literally, it was no sleep at all.
Well, sleep, what's that?
Sleep.
I mean, we take naps and then get up and go at it again. That's all we do is napping. We don't sleep because when you sleep, you can miss that money.
Yeah.
You can miss the opportunity because I don't want y'all to think that we're just talking about, the finance. It comes with it. But when you're doing the work, you're going to reap what you sow. And when you're putting into good ground and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to get that return. So what made you say, okay, I like this little 900 square feet. It's working for me, but
we needed more space.
Yeah.
At that point, we were doing 3,000, 5,000 meals a day. And I was like, okay, we're going to expand. Then also I got a grant from a Southland development organization, and they helped me build out the next space next to me. Okay. So I broke through the wall. I built out, it was like about 2,500 square feet. So that gave us about 3,200, 3,500 square feet worth of space. And what I did with that, I put an event space. Also, I put a drink manufacturing space and a food manufacturing space in that spot.
Yeah.
So for the grant, I had to produce 1 food vendor and 1 drink vendor. We produced 1 drink vendor and 4 food vendors. Wow. So we surpassed our goal.
Right.
Or whatever. And we got them, they were already waiting to get in stores, but we got them back in stores. Some people weren't in stores. Right. We got them back in stores. So that was a success. We kept the building long enough for me to be able to save enough to be able to purchase my own building.
That's it.
And that's just what I did.
And that's what it's about. Like, a lot of people, you want to just jump out the gate and get to the end goal. But you forget that, humble beginnings is nothing wrong with that. Because if God can trust you with the small, He's going to give you the greater. But again, it goes back to that work, that process. So when you said, so now we're Park Forest and we're going, I need something more.
Yeah.
Now this process for me was fun because the conversations that we used to have, baby, of different places. Tell us now, let's journey because we're in the south suburbs, right? So if you know the south suburbs, now we finna take a drive. Because we finna drive from Park Forest, and where was the first place you thought Poppin Plates was finna land at?
Oak Forest.
Oak Forest. So we was going from the park to the Oak, right? But when everything was going smooth, tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my God. So we got to the week of closing in Oak Forest. All inspections had been done. No, it was like 2 weeks before closing. I'm sorry. Like 2 weeks before when they actually came out to do the appraisal on the building. The appraiser called me and he said, something's not right. Something's wrong with the zoning. I said, no, we got it in writing. Everything is good with the zoning. He said, no, I can't let you move forward with this. Something is wrong with the zoning. This was on a Friday, and I was actually in Cancun celebrating, right? I was in the hot tub in Cancun celebrating because I was like, I close in 2 weeks, and it's going to be nonstop work, right?
So let me get my time now.
Right, let me get my time now. So, immediately I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, so what do we need to do? I called the office and they were like, okay, we knew you were going to call us. We don't know what happened. That was zoned properly, but unfortunately somebody changed this or that or whatever, but it'll be okay. All you have to do is fill out this paperwork and we'll do a zoning process and you'll be good in about 2 weeks. We just defer your closing a little bit longer. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Okay.
I can do that.
That's simple.
Well, went to the first zoning meeting. They didn't know what an incubator was. I had taught them, educated them on that piece, and it went through the first zoning meeting. Okay, next zoning meeting, I'll never forget. It was February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Okay, so zoning meeting comes in, all the neighbors come in, and they put me on the stand for about an hour and 20 minutes asking me different questions.
You know the one question I would know. What was the question? I'm not going to say the word I want to say, so I'll say, what was the uneducated question they asked you about the smells?
What kind of smells are going to come out of the building?
Food.
That's what we're worried about. The neighbors were worried about the smells that were going to come out the building. The building was actually a dentist, a doctor's office, and a dentist. So they were worried about us taking over their parking lot. So what's going to happen with the parking lot? Because we use that parking lot for when the kids play baseball across the street at the school. I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm purchasing the parking lot.
Right.
It's mine at that point. So needless to say, that zoning didn't happen.
Wow.
Or whatever. With all the money put in and everything else, they denied it.
Wow.
And we had to walk away from it. And at that point, I was a little discouraged. But discouragement lasted probably about 2 days. And I was like, I gotta find me something else.
There you go. You don't stay, look, you can take a moment,
right.
But you can't stay in that moment.
Exactly.
So, and like I told y'all, we finna drive, right? So we went from Park Forest and we drove to Oak Forest. And they was concerned about food smells. They ain't say nothing about them dentists, and I ain't gonna say what
not at all.
And they thank you, right? They ain't say, but they was worried about food smells. Like I want to, if I can drive on the block and smell food, I'd be so happy. I think that's what my little plug-in should be: macaroni and cheese.
And macaroni.
I know, sweet potatoes and macaroni. That's my earplug gonna be. So. We got to Oak Forest. All right, forget them. So where do we drive to next?
We found a spot in Lansing.
Oh, and that was perfect because you were so close, right?
Yes, I actually lived 3.5 minutes away from the place, so it was just lovely. Real estate agent be like, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be like, me too. I was like, this would be the perfect location. The aesthetics on the outside looks like the brand new building. Had a parking lot already gated, plenty of land. It was already sectioned off into cubicles and office spaces. So the build out,
everything you needed.
Everything
you needed.
Everything I needed. Went through the whole entire process. We get to the week of closing.
That's a week of closing.
Man, we get to the week of closing, and my real estate agent calls me, and he said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "What you mean? Are you sitting down?" He says, "We have a problem." I said, "What's the problem?" I know we ain't got no problems. Everything has went through. He was like, it's a lien on the property. What? I said, how did we not catch this?
How? Because before it even put, the real estate agent should have caught that.
Exactly.
Like you get a property, if I'm an agent and I'm getting ready to sell something, I gotta make sure titles are good and liens. There's no liens, no construction liens, no nothing liens on there. And there was a lien. What type of lien?
It was an SBA lien.
Ooh.
So the
SBA
company,
wasn't playing.
No, they were not at all. So the company had a $2 million lien on the property. So all their assets were tied up in this property.
And they were trying to sell it, thinking that
they were trying to sell it.
And they thought they was gonna sell that and the $2 million they
exactly.
owed. They thought that was gonna go with the new owner.
Exactly.
Not too smart.
Not at all.
Oh my goodness.
So I hadn't actually went on that vacation yet, because I was closing.
You need to stop going on vacation before you are closing, because for some reason it don't like that, ma'am.
But it was my birthday at that point. So I was trying to close right before my birthday, right?
Okay.
But I held off. So they were like, give us 2 weeks. We should have, their lawyer said, give us 2 weeks. We should have it cleared up and everything will be good. What ended up happening is they delayed it, and we found out that the lien couldn't be removed.
No, like when you have an SBA lien, that's the government, and they want their money. And for them to not do what they were supposed to do to even get their money, that's sad. So we're going to take a little pause right now here on Kingdom Connections Radio on She Serves. I'm here with my girl, Nicole Green, with Poppin Plates. And we're gonna come back and we're gonna get into a little bit. So we didn't drove from Park Forest or Oak Forest to Lansing. So when we come back, we're gonna pick up where we finna drive to. We're taking the South Suburban tour. We'll be right back.
I know that some of you out there are suffering from hardships, trials, and dealing with issues that no one can even begin to imagine, let alone understand. Yet you hide the pain of it all with a smile on your face, all the while you want to give up and throw in the towel. I want to let you know that I've been there before, and I want to encourage you to press on. Listen.
I've learned this life just the way. But they that wait on the Lord shall, yes, renew. And they shall mount up on wings.
Oh yeah, to come through the whole building. You feel it up there?
You know, when I take my hat off, we get my balls.
They shall walk and not faint. That's why I'll press on. Yes, I will. In my faith, oh yes, I'm already one. You ought to shout right now, knowing the victory is already yours. If you don't mind, I want to say that one more time. Listen here. I've learned in this life. Yes, I have. They've been waiting on the Lord shall renew their strength, y'all. But listen here, the part I like is they shall mount up on the wings of an eagle. Good God Almighty here. They shall run and not get weary. No. Y'all need to walk and not faint. That's why I'll press on. Yes, I will. No matter what it looks like, y'all, I know I already won. Even though I might look like I'm defeated, I want to let you know that I will. I'm gonna press on. Listen, let me talk to you here. I want to encourage you to press on. Press on. Yes. Don't get weary in well doing, for you will reap in due season. You can't give up, but you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Listen, for the Bible says that God's strength is made perfect at the weakest point. So wherever you are,
we almost done.
In your life,
and we running out of here.
I want to encourage you right now. Don't worry about it. Whatever they told you about your child, don't worry about it. I want to know tonight whose report will you believe? None of that stuff matters anymore. You already have the victory. Tell that devil right now, I've already won.
That's right. Press on. Press on. That's what you heard the song say. No matter what you're going through, press on. And that's a good place to pick up where we left off at, because we were in Lansing with yet another building that had a problem. And the building had a problem, not her vision. Hear that? Her building had a problem. So after Lansing was a no-go,
After Lansing was a no-go, it was time for vacation, you know. I was just like, forget it. I'm packing up. I vacation. My life is vacation. I work to vacation or whatever. That's what I do. I work to vacation.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah. So I'm taking a trip. I got the bad news, like they're not going to be able to remove the lien after waiting about a month. And my mother is like, well, you might as well go to the family reunion with me. I'm like, okay, no problem. We jumping in the car. We're going to take this quick drive. And as we're driving, I'm looking. Mother's like, concentrate on the road. I'm like, okay, I'm going to concentrate, but I just found something or whatever. She was like, where is it? So I picked up the phone, I called the real estate agent, and he's like, okay. I said, look, I'm on my way out of town. We're just going to Iowa for a family reunion for the weekend. I'll come back Sunday.
Okay.
I said, but see if we can see this property on Sunday, because on Monday I go to Jamaica. I said, and I'll be gone for a week. I said, is there any way that I can see this property? So he hit me back later on that day. He was like, well, Sunday is going to be too soon for you to see it. I'm like, I leave Monday morning, go to Jamaica for vacation. He was like, okay, I got an appointment. As soon as you get off the plane, later on that day, we'll be able to see the property.
Okay.
So we seen the old Warsaw Inn.
Okay.
Is where what I purchased. And we seen that property that day. I looked at my real estate agent. I said, this is it. He was like, are you serious? I was like, this is it. I was like, it was a restaurant already.
Mm-hmm.
It already was built out and zoned properly, right?
Zoned properly.
So, if nothing else, I thought I knew a little bit about real estate because I took some real estate classes before.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely knew about real estate after going through two bad deals.
So that part, you get educated real quick.
I think I was asking more questions than the real
Than
estate
the realtor, right?
you know, was.
Like, hold on, here go my list.
Exactly.
Let's run it down. Do you care about the smells? Okay, right.
Right. So I went through all that. The agent was like, are you really serious about this? I said, yes. I said, this would be my third property. I'm ready to put in an offer. He was like, okay, well, I'll send it over to you today. And I said, you'll have it back tonight.
Wow.
We won that bid on that property, talked to the village, went in Linwood, and they were open arms. We're interested. We're definitely interested. That deal went pretty smooth. It actually went the smoothest out of any of the other two.
Now, what if you had got Oak Forest and went through that and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna stop?
I wouldn't own a 4,000 square foot commercial kitchen where we have 5 different individual suites, 30-foot hood, everything under it that you can think of, space that we can do classes, birthday parties.
I like that. Cooking classes, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all tell her when you can do how you can do that. But you can have cooking classes or like the birthday party cooking classes.
Yeah, food challenges. We wouldn't have a gated area where we can hold food trucks and food trailers. We wouldn't have our own parking lot, that's nice and big. We don't have to share a parking lot with anybody. And we have acreage in the back, right? So we have 2 acres.
She said acreage, not 2. She didn't say a couple. She didn't say a patch of grass.
No.
She said acreage.
Yes.
2.
Yes. So we have 2 acres in the back that we would eventually want to do farming on. So that's not necessarily my ministry, but
it's gonna be somebody's.
Yes, my mother has taken on. This is my project. I said you can have it
all day long. I can kill a plastic plant. You hear me? A plastic plant from Dollar Tree will be dead in my midst. So going through all of your processes, what kept you? Because we know that we can be driven, and it's good to be goal driven, and what your vision in front of you, but like the foundation, what was the foundation that made you keep going?
Well, for one, I was raised not to rent. You're not leaving my house until you buy something. So I had been renting for the last 6.5 years. which my mother was totally against. She was like, no, because when they see you making money, they're going to go up on your rent or whatever. And things like that. And she was right.
Mama, you said right.
And she was definitely right. Once I start producing numbers and things like that, and people can see it, things start to happen and change or whatever. And I'm like, if I'm going to pay for something, I can do this on my own.
Right.
Right? I can put this into something of my own. And I'm definitely leaving something for my son. I have a son. Leaving something for him, a legacy for him.
Absolutely.
Is my main thing or whatever. And I just love the freedom that entrepreneurs get, right?
Yeah.
I don't do this just because I love to cook or whatever. I do it for the freedom more than anything. Because as you can see, I love to travel. So.
Yes, she does. She's a traveler.
Yeah, I'm a traveler. And, if I can work hard, then play hard, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's good. Now, I know we've had several conversations, and I know that when you had your moment and you spoke to your pastor, right? Mm-hmm. So, what was some of the nuggets that your pastor gave you? Because even though we know we want to leave a legacy that will keep you, driven, and you were raised with financial intelligence. Like, unfortunately, some people in our community are not raised with that outlook to not rent. But when you were having those conversations with your pastor, and you can give your pastor a shout out, okay. What did she say to you to keep you grounded in what you were working to do? What kept you focused?
So I can say Dr. Eleanor Miller is my spiritual advisor. And when I say, whew, this lady will call me at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was like, I was thinking about you. Get up, let's go. We finna pray. What's on your mind?
Wake up.
Wake up. This is what we doing this morning. Okay, I was just thinking, okay, then hang up on me. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, you got exactly what you wanted, then hung up. But she just let me know that those buildings weren't for me. Mm-hmm. There was a reason why I was keep getting denied or whatever. And she was like, the money that you lost, she was like, what is that? She was like, you get it again. That wasn't meant for you. You had to go through that to get to where you were going. Amen. Or whatever. So she kept me encouraged. Some days she was like, get up, let's go. I'm like, I don't feel like going nowhere. I don't feel like doing nothing. She was like, no, you have to find your space, this, that, and the other. And she would call daily sometimes, sometimes talk to her 4 or 5 days a week or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay, so what's going on now? And what's going on now? And every, a couple of different times she had a couple of guests and some prophets in, and she was like, are you coming to church? Are you coming to, because I don't actually belong to her church, right? We're friends and she's my spiritual advisor, but I don't belong to her church. But we've been together.
You better run now.
But we've been together. We got this understanding. We've been together for over 20 years. Okay. But I treat her church family just like my church family, right? So we were talking and she was just sitting.
And guess what?
What? You're a member. Yeah, I'm a member. I got dual membership.
No, go ahead.
So we were just talking and she was just showing me that, bringing me in front of these prophets, and she was like, he got a word for you. She was like, he already told me something is going on with one of your members. He was like, God dang it, you ain't even and we joke, you ain't even a real member or whatever, So, but, every time I sat in front of a prophet, they told me they see me at the table signing papers. Mm. Everything for the rest of the year, one said, is yours. Anything you put your hands on is approved already. And when I tell you, everything that I put my hands on was approved already.
Wow.
I got so bad, I was just walking like, yeah, it's mine.
I like that. No, that's the kind of faith that we all supposed to walk in like, you know what, I want that car, that's mine. Yeah, give me the keys. You can do all the paperwork, but run me my keys while you doing what you need to do, because it's mine.
Exactly. You can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me nothing.
It's already mine.
What about your circle? Like, what type of circle did you have during these processes?
Oh my God. So I would say my biggest circle, and you are one that's in my circle, it's full with praying women for one, right? It's full of entrepreneurs. Um, we have some that just a few, and I have a couple of different circles, but my closest circle that I talk to every single day and able to call and say this went wrong or that went wrong or how should we move with this or whatever, all are believers. Amen. Or whatever, we could pray together, we can shout together, then we can go to brunch together,
The best part. Now y'all know I was waiting on the food, but go ahead.
But that circle kept me lifted or whatever.
Yeah.
Another one of my circle members, she owns restaurants, right? Mm-hmm. And she always tell me, you told me I could do it, and I didn't know how I was gonna do it.
What?
She was like, now guess what? You can do it. I was like, I did tell you that, didn't I?
So you poured into another entrepreneur, helped her get where she needed to be, and now you thought you was going to backpedal and play crazy.
Oh, yeah,
and
I sure did. I definitely did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so used to helping others to the point when it came that I needed the help, I was like, I don't know how to receive it. So that was hard for me.
That's good. The don't know how to receive. People will let destruction, their house fall down because they don't know how to ask for help, and then they don't know how to receive help.
Yeah.
And that is powerful. And if you don't get, there's a lot of nuggets that she dropped. But one of the things I want you to get, you have to understand your circle. You have to understand your faith. And even though she might be a fly-by member with dual membership in this church, but your faith has to be unmovable when it comes down. Like, she was thinking big. She wasn't thinking, well, I'm going to just go and stay in this little, everyone denied me, this little 900 square feet. I'm going to just go back because I got that. See, that's something that was already there. But that even started when, at 900, you expanded how many feet?
To 4,000.
So you expanded to 4,000 out there, but then things started getting a little shaky out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can go, oh, I got that. I can go back to what I got. Then it started getting a little like, that I don't really got that the way I thought I have it. But she didn't stop, because some people would have stopped after Oak Forest. Some people would have probably crumbled after Lansing. But when you have a faith-based circle and a faith of your own, like if her pastor, if Doc didn't call her and tell her to get up and pray, guess what she had to do for herself? Yeah. Pray. If no one picked up the phone and she texted someone, oh, I'm about to just scream, and no one answered, guess who's going to answer? God. He knew what the plan was for you. So you are now sitting in Linwood with abundance.
Yeah. Because
that's what it is. When you think of 4,000 square feet to where you're at with acreage, meaning that's almost self-sustainable, because once she really gets back there and do some planting and have some stuff, she can sell that.
Yeah. Sell
her fresh produce.
Yeah.
And you say you have trucks. So does the food trucks, can they rent space from you?
Yes. The food trucks can rent space from me. They can sell on a lot. So we're making it really nice for them, and they have a place where they can actually prep their food and take their food outside, run Uber Eats, Grubhub, you name it, on their food trucks, and run and sit there. Linwood is a food desert, so it really works. Hopefully it will really work for Linwood pretty soon. Mm-hmm. So we're taking applications now to get more food trucks in.
Y'all heard that, food truckers? Food truckers, I hope you are listening. She said that they're taking applications now for food trucks, where you know that your food truck is safe and you can even sell on the lot. Mm-hmm. Now that's big, because people can come in and they can pick whatever they want. Got taco truck for this, and I know y'all like that jerk chicken and stuff. I can't do spicy, but the jerk chicken, any soul food places.
No, but I have a girlfriend that owns a soul food restaurant. It's called Passion Eats.
I know.
And you know, maybe one day or two we can get her to do a pop up. You know,
maybe. I know you listening, Passion Eats. If you're not, we're gonna share it and send it to you so you can. We need us a soul food pop up out here in Linwood so that we can get some good soul home cooking. I'm gonna give you some time right now. I want you to be able to share what you have coming up. I want you to be able to share how can a person come be a part or can I say apply to come a part of your shared kitchen, and whatever else that you want to share with the people that are listening. You can go ahead and take that time, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, sounds good. Well, to be a part of the kitchen, basically you just have to apply, right? So we have the 2 locations. We have our Park Forest location, which is still the 900 square feet, but it's big enough to do what you got to do, right? Like I said, we've cooked 3,000, 5,000 meals out of that location. So it can produce, right? Then the Linwood location, that's there for the pricing is structured for somebody that actually has already started in business, has some contracts, or looking to go into stores and things like that. Or if you have a brick and mortar, but you necessarily don't have a kitchen. And there are a lot of places out there like that. We've hosted a couple of different restaurants like that. Come in, give me a call. The phone number is 708-941-1708. You can look me up, Poppin Plates Culinary Incubator. You can Google Poppin Plates. We're all over social media. So just put it in and give us a call, and we'll be happy to sit down with you, give you a free consultation, and tell you where your business can potentially go if you don't have a clue.
So what if someone comes to you and say, you know, I cook, I sell a lot of stuff out my house. What is the next steps to come to your kitchen to even be able to knock on the door?
Just pick up the phone and give us a call first. Or whatever, because by it being a shared kitchen and we run off of hours, right? You will book your hours. We have an online platform. You book your own hours. You're not told when you have to come to the kitchen, right? So I'm not always there. Okay. So we set up an appointment. You come in, you tour the kitchen, you see all the amenities that we have to offer. Then you decide what kind of package you want. Is this a starter person? Is this a person that's knocking out a couple of different parties every weekend? So we put you in the best package for your price range, right? Because we want everybody to see everybody succeed. Okay. Try to take people a little bit below versus taking them too high up and they fail, right? It's very important for me that everybody be successful. And people are like, how do you make sure that everybody eats? And you sit back sometime. I was like, because if my people are successful, I'm successful.
Yeah, amen. And I've watched it. I watched you give contracts away. I've watched you, hey, I'm double booked. And you like, hey, I need you to do A, B, C, and D. And that also is a thing of networking and like she said, making sure everybody at the table can eat. Because this table, I keep telling you all, I know it seems like I'm being repetitive, but I want you all to get it. This table is huge and it's enough room for everyone to eat. And if they have a shared kitchen, that means everybody in there cooking. So if everybody in there cooking and they're successful, that means that whatever you are desiring to do, you can do the same thing. But I want all of my cooks that are cooking from home, all of my cooks that are cooking out of your kitchen, I really want you, I am desiring for you to be able to step up and level up your game and reach out to Poppin Plates. Have this conversation with her. She will be able to just level you up, because you got to level up now. It's 2025, y'all. I mean, I'm not buying nothing no more from your kitchen. You hear me? I don't care if it's the best macaroni cheese in the world. I ain't doing it because I want to make sure I get a receipt. And if I'm in the hospital, your insurance gonna pay that. And that's what it gives you legitimacy. I can Google popping plates, and I'm gonna see on Instagram, Facebook. I know she ain't TikToking yet. No, yeah, you
No,
know,
we got a page. I
Yeah,
ain't,
you
I ain't
got a
too
page.
much TikToking, but
You
we
got a page, but you're not talking on that tick. So I don't see no food pictures, but that's okay. We gonna get it together because we need to see that food that you're not cooking no more. But you level up your game, guys. It doesn't take a lot, but it does take you wanting to do more and better. This is where you get contracts. She said contracts. Did you hear me? She didn't say catering gigs. She said contracts. Like, what type of contracts can somebody get?
Okay, so I'm not gonna say the name of the company.
No,
or
yeah, you don't have to say that.
But one of my, so I do food and beverage consulting, and last July I went in, helped the company build their catering, a whole catering division out, and they posted the other day they did 126,000 meals in a year. So I know because I was there within the negotiations of this contract and everything.
Yeah.
So I started punching in numbers. I'm the chef that doesn't want to cook. I'm going to tell everybody that.
You hear that? That's a new logo. I'm going to do it for her too. The chef that don't want to cook.
So I'm the chef that doesn't want to cook and don't want to touch that, right? But I started calculating those numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man.
They made them some nice
little
money.
So I text the owner of the establishment. I'm like, oh my God, congratulations, this, that, and the other. She was like, it's funny because we all love to take vacation. She's like, I'm on vacation right now, but I'm going to call you when I get back. She texted me the other day, was like, Chef, any other contracts that we can get in to, and things like that. It's plenty of contracts out there.
Guys, you don't know, there are schools that need people to make lunches for. There are skilled nursing facilities, assisted livings. There's hospitals. There's businesses. There is a lot of places that you don't think that need people to prepare their meals.
Yes.
There are people that need, in this day and age, a lot of people are trying to get healthy. We see every term, we got people that's doing the juicers, that's juicing, that's doing, clean eating. There are people that meal prep. You can't prep nothing out your kitchen no more for me. I need you to get into a shared kitchen space with all the proper licensing. But people there's so many ways that you can make money in this industry, but you're capping yourself because you want to stay in your house at 606, whatever 6 your zip code is, instead of coming to Poppin Plates, either in Park Forest or Linwood, 2 locations. So what do you have coming up? You got anything big coming up that you would like to share?
We're really pushing our birthday parties right now.
Okay.
Really pushing our birthday parties, which you can bring in as small as a group of 10 to a group of 16.
Okay.
And we can have cooking challenges. So like the chop challenges and all that type of stuff. We did it in the 900 square feet. So I just can't wait to do one in our 4,000 square feet.
Okay.
The first one, I talked to a client yesterday, booked one yesterday. Then I actually witnessing menus for one today. Okay. So those are booking. July is my birthday month. Yay. So of course we're trying to get the calendar finalized in the next few days. If you follow us on social media, you'll definitely see some specials going on. Okay. We started off July with taking $150 off of our registration fee to get in the kitchen. Okay. I believe in gifts. Right. So, I like gifts and I like giving gifts. There we go. So that's just a little incentive to say, hey, check us out or whatever.
Awesome. So you can do a birthday party cooking challenge. That means they have to know how to cook, right?
Not necessarily. I've seen somebody that never cooks come in and do a good job.
Okay. And those are fresh ideas. A lot of times you don't know what to do for your birthday, don't want to spend too much money. You got to spend some money, but you want to do something, that is something perfect to do. Cooking lessons, do a family cooking lesson. Anything. Those are great ideas, and you can do it in Poppin Plates. Well, first of all, I am so super happy that you took the time to come out You know, I know you always support. That's one thing that Nicole always does. She supports people, and especially if you're doing something. Now she ain't gonna support mess, but she gonna support you if you're doing something, and vice versa. Because you know, I watch her drive. I watch how she delivers and produces it, and it's like none other. And that's why I know that you all needed to hear her story. That you all needed to hear how she started from one place and took the journey of the process took the process journey to her promise right there in Linwood, Illinois. Yes. So please, once again, tell the audience on the radio. I know we're Facebook Live. I didn't talk to y'all a lot, but I'm concentrating on my radio audience. But once again, let them know how they can reach out to you to become one of your clients, because she says she has clients. So that means there's a way that you can get to the table. And share that number one more time for us.
The phone number is 708-941-1708. And the website is www.poppinplatesllc.com.
Awesome. And you also can find her on all social medias that are relevant, Facebook and Instagram. And you can find out the information as well. And don't forget her website. Here on She Serves, I told you all from day one that I am only going to bring people to the platform that will be able to seed into you for what you are desiring to do. I want to highlight people that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that's probably on stages that think that are mega, but the ones that are here that's on boots on the ground in the community really doing the work just as well as anyone else is who I want to be able to highlight, to push in the forefront. And I pray if she said one thing today that encouraged any culinary anyone that's in the culinary arts that has a gift and talent in, if whether it's baking or cooking or decorating when you're with your food. I watch so much stuff on TV where they make things out of food that be like bananas. Like, I'm like, that's a cake? And it's like a puppy, which I think is kind of weird, but they can do so much with food now. And if you have any of those talents, I hope she said something that sparked you to go, oh wow, I gave up when that first thing didn't work. But she didn't give up, not once, not twice. And when she got to her third time, and that goes back to that she had a plan when she went over there to Oak Forest. And when that didn't go through, now she has shifted into her promise, into her process that took her to Lansing and did not go through. And she ended up with her promise right there in Linwood. That means she stuck out through her process. Y'all gonna hear that every time you probably on this show listening, because I wanted to embed it into your head that you can't give up, right?
No, you can't
give up. You can't give up when you are trying to do something. No matter how many times you try, get back up and try it again. I give my analogy every time. I guarantee you that Betty Crocker didn't get it right the first time.
Not at all.
I guarantee that cake mix probably tastes so bad the first couple of times, but all they had to do was keep tweaking it, keep adding to it. You might even have to take away. That's something that people don't know how to do in business. You can have so much that even that might not work, but sometimes you got to stop, reevaluate, and see, hold up, maybe I don't need this and that. Chanel, I love Chanel. I said that I believe that I'm an old woman. I'm walking around with Chanel on when I'm old, looking down and up at people at the same time. But Chanel had a quote that said, once you get all dressed and you look in the mirror, take one thing off. And basically, like, you can sit and have a whole plate full of things that you are working to do, but sometimes you just have to take away and then go, oh, well, look at there. Because if you take something off or pull something back, it might actually clear up the vision even better. So if she didn't give up, I don't want you to give up. I'm always going to be here encouraging every entrepreneur, every person in ministry, every person that is working in the community, that to do exactly what God has designed for you to do. And here on Kingdom Connections Internet Radio, we're going to bring you nothing but positive information so that you can run with your vision. Nicole, I want to thank you. Thank you for sharing your story.
You are so welcome. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being half. No, but no, thank you so much for coming out, because I guarantee you there's someone that listened to you today that you probably just gave them that extra push to keep going or to reevaluate their circle and go like, "Ooh, you didn't pray." You know, or maybe even let them tap into their leader to be like, "Hey, okay, I've been trying this all by myself, and it ain't working."
You
so
can't do it by yourself.
You can't do it by yourself, and you can't do nothing without God. And you know that that it's always gonna come full circle back to the foundation. There is nothing that you can't do, but there is nothing you can't do without Him. I don't know if you caught that. I'm going to say it again. There's nothing that you can't do without God that's going to succeed, but there's nothing that you can't do without Him. And if you know that, then you can keep going. I want you to keep going. This is your girl, Dr. Nefertiti, live here on She Serves Radio. Please continue to tune in at 10 o'clock. You know what time it is at 10 p.m. That's right. That's that prophetic release with none other than Apostle Kente Duncan. He is going to be on fire and give a word that's going to be life-changing. So once again, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to She Serves Radio Talk Show live on Kingdom Connections Internet Radio. I'll talk to you all next week, next Tuesday, our same place. Peace out, people. Love you all.
If anybody asks you how I made it, tell them by the grace, the grace.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Of God.
We had a great time. Oh, okay. I know y'all can hear me, but thank y'all. Thank y'all so